introduce Greg. He's going to start off the weekend here, so we're really excited. I'm a Totally Driven. We're sponsoring the demo stage here this weekend, so we're really excited. Hope you guys are too.
You look excited.
You're excited? Okay, good.
You look excited.
I look excited? I do. I'm buzzing. I'm so excited. All right, so Greg Schulze. If you don't know him, he's actually a PGA master professional. There's only a few of those guys around, so he knows his stuff. You're going to learn some things today. He's given the thumbs up. Did you pay this guy right here, Greg?
I got a plant. I always have a plant.
Wow, good. And he's got a beer in his hand. No wonder. He was a 2007 Minnesota PGA Teacher of the Year. He's a top 50 instructors in America. His topic today is learning golf's 80-20 rule, and I hope you enjoy his talk today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I want to start by thanking Totally Driven, Andy Thompson here, Lynn, John, for sponsoring the Academy stage. I hope you enjoy this. Love it coming here. It's my, I had to add them up. This is my 23rd stage appearance. Tomorrow will be 24, so maybe they'll put me out to pasture one of these days. But I try to, every single time it's been something new. I've only got two main goals here, and you'll find out what they are at the end, because there's going to be a little audience participation. I'm going to have you take a couple of oaths. You ever take an oath before? I'm here to try to maybe either change your mind about a common misconception, or maybe if you understand this, just reinforce something. It's called golf's 80-20 rule. And we had a lot of people ask what that means, and I didn't want to tell them because I want them to sit down and hear it. So it's kind of a little action there. I'm going to start with a question. Raise your hand if you've ever hit a slice. If you ever hit a slice in your life, raise your hand. Okay? Let me know if anybody know what the percentage of golfers who slice regularly across the scope of golf. 80%. 80%? Anybody else? 90, 95? Yeah, the research is about 85%. Does that make it an epidemic in your mind? All right, that's a big number, isn't it? Okay. Next question. What causes a slice? I want to hear something. What do you think causes a slice? What's that?
Open face.
Open face like this?
Terrible swing.
A terrible swing. Break it down, buddy. What causes a slice? I'm not hearing the most common things we hear.
Acceleration.
Huh? Too fast. Not following through. Okay.
Outside in.
Outside in. Remember that one.
Good answer.
Swing path. Okay. What do you mean by swing path? What's wrong with it? Outside in. Over the top. We got 2 out of 3 so far. All right, I'm waiting for one more. We got 10 seconds, and then it's sort of the same thing. Have you ever said, I'm cutting across? What do you say? Oh, yeah, there we go. Huh? Too many beers. There you go. Well, that's probably true. There you go. All right, so we've heard coming over the top, swinging from outside in. Maybe you've heard, I'm cutting across the ball. Did you ever say that to your playing partners? Okay. Only one person had the most correct answer, and he was over here. He said, what? What'd you say? An open club face. So the golf's 80-20 rule in the research says that approximately 80% of your slice is due to the location of the club face at impact, and only about 20%, and I'm rounding the numbers, is your path. And so when you say over the top, are you talking about, does that cliche talk about path or face when you hear that? Path. How about cutting across the ball? Is that face or path? Path. What about outside in? Path. All right. So we have a lot of cliches about the path. Well, we don't have that many about the club face, do we? Okay, so in the mid-90s, I'm going to give you about a 30-second history on what's called the 5 ball flight laws, and we're only going to deal with 3 of them here during the talk. But in the mid-70s, about 1976, a gentleman by the name of Dr. Gary Wyron, and every golf pro knows that name. If you don't, he's a giant in our industry. And then he created what he called the 5 ball flight laws. He didn't create them because they're already here on the planet, but he put them down on paper. Okay? 5 ball flight laws which govern every single shot you have ever hit or ever will hit. Period. Non-negotiable. Right? And in 1990, he put it into a book along with some other work called the PGA Manual of Golf, which is still kind of the golf manual that's used in the PGA Apprentice program. So here 20-some years later. Now, a few years ago, some of the high-tech launch angle and thing, TrackMan is one, and other flight scope, things like that, they wanted to say that their research disputed the 5 ball flight laws. Okay? You ever hear that, John? They wanted to dispute that. Well, there's a recent article in our magazine, our PGA magazine, and one of the National Teachers of the Year, who works with many tour players, his name's Mike Bender, had a little statement in there about, the article is about refuting the 5 ball flight laws, and Mike Bender said, today the ball flight laws are 100% correct for 100% of the time. This is a National Teacher of the Year. Okay? Now the technology sort of made it a little more, gave us a little more numbers. You know, you get numbers like that, Andy, right, at your shop at Totally Driven. But we're going to talk about the ball flight laws. One's going to be the club face, one's going to be the path, and the third one's going to be speed. And there's 2 more, but we're not going to cover those. Are you with me so far? Okay. So, what is the only real reason for a slice? And I'm not going to hook's the opposite, but we're dealing with slice because it's 85%. I don't want to deal with the hook. You know, that's a smaller number. We're here to learn. Okay? The only reason for a ball curving, whether it's a slice or a hook, is what? Well, no, that's what, Eric? Well, I see you're getting ahead of it. Yeah, that's right. It is side spin. It's side spin. The ball is spinning in that direction. Everybody understand what I mean by side spin? There's back spin, top spin, side spin in 2 directions, right? One goes slice, one goes hook. Right? Everybody good with me on there? Good. So the only reason side spin happens is like Eric said, there's one of the top players in the state back there, you know, is when the club face is open relative to the path. And we're going to cover, Lucas Rowland, my assistant, and I, that's what we're going to do here. If you didn't understand what I just said, you will hopefully in a few moments, and then you can ask questions at the end if you're not sure. The only reason you get side spin, in this case with a slice, is when you have an open club face relative to the path that the club head is swinging on. Okay? Raise your hand if that really made sense to you. You're kind of clear on that. The concept made sense to you. Good. Okay? Now, remember the 80-20 rule. It fluctuates a little because at higher speeds, at higher club head speeds, the path is going to be a little more influential than the club face at higher speeds. At lower speeds, the club face is actually, that number goes up above 80. Okay? So think about if you feel like you have kind of low club head speed relative to some other people you play with or how you'd like to be, whatever. If you feel you have low club head speed, you need more information about the club face than the path. Are you following me? Got her so far? Okay. We're going to do a demonstration. There's a student of mine leaving, you know, I mean, what the heck? No, so, he knows everything. No, I'm teasing. All right. This demonstration is going to hopefully brighten it up for you. We got Lucas here with a jumbo, it's called an XL iron made by Momentous, one of the two. Momentous Golf. Okay? So, we look at the face, and I have an extension here with the big styrofoam ball, okay, with the black line there. There's our target, the red stake right there. Okay? So Lucas, show them an open club face at impact. Where's the ball going to go? It's going to hit Bobby, right? Okay, show a closed club face, okay? Now you might say, how can anything be other than that? Well, you guys are the ones that said that you're sliced because you're coming over the top and outside in and inside, you know, and all that stuff, right? Over the top. Well, that's what the hula hoop is for. Can you picture the path there in the hula hoop? Okay? If the hula hoop, which is the path, is from the outside in, but the face is square slower. Face is square relative to the path. Where's that ball going? Is that going to slice or is that going to go left? Is that going to end up right of your destination or to the left? What's the answer? To the left. But I thought over the top caused a slice. He's over the top right now, right? We just moved the path to the left for a right-handed golfer in the downswing. Is that the definition of coming over the top? Somewhat, right? So for everything that's going left, and you don't like the ball going left, what does your brain have to do? It has to have something going to the right. So now we have a path to the left and the face to the right. The golf ball, listen close, will always start closer to the face. Why don't we do a big difference here? Way, way over the top with a really open club face. Everybody see the different lines? Way over the top with a real open club face. Where's that ball going to end up? Is that going to slice? When the club face is open, this black line relative to this target line here, that is a side spinning golf ball. Everybody understand it? Okay? So what's the 80-20 rule? The golf ball will start closer to the face than to the path. The club face will always have more influence on where the ball ends up than the path. There are way more cliches in golf about, and I got them out of you, didn't I? There's way more cliches in golf about the path than the face, isn't there? Right? Why are we doing that? Well, I don't want to blame anybody for that, but maybe some golf instruction, maybe some magazines, maybe some books. They love to show this path. You know, has everyone ever had a video lesson before? Raise your hand if you had a video lesson before. Okay. Did the instructor put lines from the back view? Some lines, okay? And if your club came what? Off the line, you're coming over the top, or if it went under the line, you are what? Inside out, okay? But how much was talked about the club face? 80%, okay? I'm going to stop right here to see if anyone has any quick questions about the 80-20 rule and that demonstration right there. Let me ask you a question then. Does anyone understand why at a slower speed, like I said earlier, at a slower speed the club face has more influence, it goes above 80, than at a high speed? Why would the face have more influence at a slower speed than at a higher speed? You're going like that, so you're thinking, which is good.
Your hips are ahead.
What's that?
The ball would be in contact with the face for a slightly greater amount of time.
Okay. Good. Different sports, bowling. Anybody bowl ever? Raise your hand if you bowl. Do you throw a hook, Andy, or a straight ball? A hook. So he throws a hook. Are you right-handed? So he's got what? Hook spin on his ball. If Andy just walked up to the foul line and at really slow speed hooked his ball, where would the ball go? Right into the gutter to the left. At a slow speed, the spin does what? Goes offline quicker. But a lot of tour, I remember when I was growing up, there was a guy named Mark Roth, Hall of Famer bowler. Remember that name, anybody, right? He threw it super hard, but it had so much spin. It was going down the lane like this, and it was going straight. And then right at the last minute, what'd it do? What'd it do? Snapped, right? As it slowed down, the spin took over. That happens in golf. Okay? At a higher speed, the path is going to be more influential. At a lower speed, the face is going to be more influential. Okay, so does everybody understand the visual here between the path and the face? Okay, got any questions about that? All right. Anybody know what this is? It's sort of a training aid that's out on the market? Doesn't matter. It is a training aid that is advertised to help you do what? Eliminate the slice, right? So the ball goes underneath. I got a little ball there somewhere. Even got a two-tone one there. So if Lucas was to hit this shot, everybody duck over there. We'll break your beer there. So the advertisers, I'm not against the training aid, but as long as they would tell us that it's an 80-20, that this training aid is only going to help you approximately 20%, but you know what? I don't hear that on the ad. It's not on the ad. Okay? So what do they say? This will help you eliminate, go to the top, and come over the top, so to speak, and slow. So if you hit the bar, you are what? Coming over the top or outside in, right? And the advertisers say that if you just buy this training aid and you use this bar, you will start to swing what? From the what? From the inside out. From what you already learned, what will happen to your ball flight if you swing from the inside out with an open club face? Way right. Everybody get it? You are going to look in every drawer in your house for the receipt for that training aid. You got it? And you are going to say, oh, no way. You know, you advertise that this thing is going to cure my slice. It's going farther right than I've ever dreamed of. Okay? But if you use that and developed an understanding of what the club face is doing, combined, now what might happen to your slice? Now it might go away. Okay? A slice occurs when the club face is open relative to the path. I'll say it for the third time. Okay? Everybody know what the chicken and the egg theory is in life? What caused what? You know, which came first? What causes what? Cause and effect. Okay? So I'll do this. I totally agree that some of my students and some of you maybe started golf and you didn't take lessons, or you didn't understand what you wanted to do to get started. Maybe you started with the wrong grip. Maybe you did something where you opened the club face dramatically in your backswing. That's what you did. Why? Who knows? That's what you started off. Okay? What am I going to need to do to get the club face? If someone said, now you got to swing from the inside, you have to do what? You have to try to roll your wrists over, which is tough timing, or you have to come do what with the path? You have to come over the top, right? If you have a very open club face at the top of your backswing, is coming over the top in air? Gosh, no. You better do it, right? But if you could get both the face and the path working correctly, now you got the game by the you-know-what, right? That'd be cool, right? Okay. So there's a chicken and egg. Yeah, if you started with an open club face, you had to learn to come over the top. Or maybe you started with a swing that came over the top and you had to learn to open the club face. You probably did it subconsciously. Anybody slice the ball, land in the middle of the fairway? You learned how to slice the ball and it lands in the middle of the fairway. What you learned is how to work these two elements of club face and path together, but unfortunately, how far did that ball go? See, you're always going to miss an element called speed. Okay? Everybody cool with what I did so far? Okay. Everybody stand up. I promised Andy this would be audience participation. Right? So far, so good? All right. Bobby, I know how old you are, so I know you can. All right. I want everyone to follow me. Lee and Lucas are going to do this. Put one hand like that. Where is it? It's on the imaginary, your left. You got to know your left and your right. Sorry. Left. All right. The other one goes like this. This is on the imaginary golf Bible here, right? This is, you're taking an oath. All right. And you're going to follow me. And I'm going to say I like an oath. You're going to say your name, and I want to hear it. If you don't hear it, I'm walking off. And I'm going to be real good. Okay, you ready? I. Name. All right. Keep it up. Promise to never again blame my slice on my path. of my club head. Stay up. We got another oath. All right? I state your name. Hey, that was me. Promise to learn the root causes of my flaws and not just treat the symptoms. You can sit down. You've now taken an oath. And it was on the golf Bible, so you can't break the oath, right, Lucas? Correct. All right. Now we're going to show you any questions. All right? I'm going bald. I'm almost 50, so I'm losing my hearing. I use reading glasses. You know, the clock keeps ticking, doesn't it?
Is that Lucas?
That's Lucas.
When he addresses the ball, I noticed that he keeps his hand, the shaft, with that club he had bent, so the toe of the club is kind of up.
So the toe. Well, that's not his real club, you know.
When he had the real club in his hand.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like he's got the club really low.
Perfect. Let's put the stick back in if we can. Great question. Raise your hand if your current golf clubs were fitted for you. Raise your hand. They were fitted. You went through a fitting session. I should have said, if you're not, raise your hand, then I could say shame on you, but I'm trying not to keep my audience here, right? Okay. Raise your hand if you bought your current clubs on eBay. Oh man, my last 3 students in a row. Where'd you get eBay? Well, trouble with eBay, great. You know, you get to shop and you might get a nice price. Are they fitted for you? How do you know? How about anywhere else on the internet? Raise your hand if you bought your current clubs on the internet. Okay. All right. So there weren't that many hands for fitted. There was very few for internet or eBay. So the rest of you bought your clubs off the rack. Correct? Are the clubs bought off the rack fitted for you? All right. That's what Andy and Lynn do. Well, they are this is not a plug just because that's their name up there. They are good friends of mine. I send everybody to Totally Driven. They do not have an agenda. They do not try to sell a certain club or equipment. They are ultimate golf improvement center, right? Okay. Great question, because what happens to the direction of the ball when you have the wrong lie angle is what this young gentleman right here, got the young part, right? Okay. So if the toe of the club is up, start from square there. Everybody see where the club face is pointing? Where the black line is pointing? Now go ahead and have the toe up. Where'd the ball just go? To the left. Everyone see it went to the left? Lucas did not twist the shaft to the left right there, did he? Right? You can make the ball go to the left by twisting the shaft. Go ahead and do it. Right? He did not do that. All right? If the heel of the club is up, where'd that ball go? Starting from square, where'd it go? So when the toe is up, it pointed over to this group of folks, and when the toe, right, it went over here. If your clubs are not fitted for you, and fitting is much, much more than the lie angle, but does everyone see the correlation between lie angle and what might happen to the club face? How much is the club face? Louder. How much is the club face? Why aren't your clubs fitted? You don't care about 80%? Is that what I just heard? Can I deduce that from those 2 questions? You don't have clubs fitted, and you know the club face is 80%, and I just showed you a demonstration. Okay? When should you get your club fitted as a Minnesotan? And they tease me down, as Minnesotan, right? We all say Minnesotan. When should you get? When's a good time of year, do you think? Huh? Fall or? No. Get over there. Man, you can get your clubs fitted for you, and you come out in the spring, and guess what? That's one fewer excuse you get to use. Maybe you've been using that. See, maybe that's the plan. I don't know. That's one fewer excuse you get to use for your game. Get your clubs set for the spring, and then you can move on. But you know what? As an instructor who doesn't have the facility to do that kind of what like they do, right? I'm dealing with people trying to get them to swing better using ill-fitted clubs. You know how hard that makes my job? You're not helping your pro much when you come into the lesson with the wrong clubs. Everybody understand that? Has anybody got a question with that? Raise your hand if that made no sense at all. Okay? All right. Now we can take it off. Any other question? Sir.
What effect does a draw club have on anything?
A draw is just I call it, I teach geometry, I tell folks, as much as people don't want to hear that. The geometry of club face. The club face is slightly closed relative to the path, puts spin on it the other way. So that's a draw, okay? If there's club face is very closed relative to the path, then we get a hook. Hooks, slice. Sir.
Just as far as how this thing works, should you get your clubs fitted first or become confident with your swing first and then get your clubs fitted?
Have you ever heard that one before? Chicken and the egg kind of, a little bit, isn't it? I'll honestly say I don't have a great answer for that, because I guess it's going to depend. If you are a, single digit handicap, you're a 7 and you want to be a scratch, I think your swing isn't going to change dramatically. It's not like you're going from a 40 to a 20. You plan to go from a 40 to a 20, you might want to wait a little bit. It's a chicken and the egg, and Andy, they're not part of it. But if you wait, you may end up getting bad habits because of your ill-fit equipment. You see how it works kind of negative both ways? It's like when your kids are growing up, they wore a size 5 shoe, and the next year their foot got bigger. Do you squeeze them into the 5, or you have to buy a new pair of shoes all the time? So they're always changing, and the human body is always changing, and the swings are always changing and adapting to situations on the golf course subconsciously. We don't know we're doing that, all right? So my answer is I do an extensive interview when people come for lessons. Where does your goals want to be? Well, I want to get to here. Well, then I'm going to say I would like you to get your clubs fitted first. Not a great answer, because there isn't to me. I think you can have, again, which came first? Do you get fitted and then get your lessons, or you get your lessons, change your swing, and then once you're right where you want your swing to be, then you go fitted because now you're ready to go? See what I mean? That's what you're asking, weren't you? Okay. All right. Getting down there. We got another demonstration here. One more. Now we put the ball on a tee, so to speak, with the big club head. And the black line is right in the middle like it was before. What you need to understand about side spin also is there would be a point of contact either on the inside part or on the outside part. Okay? If the contact point, if Lucas's swing and impact showed, I don't know if everyone can see that, I tried to prop it a little. Where would that ball start? Which direction? Over there, wouldn't it? Because it was struck on the what? Outside part of the ball. Where would that go? Okay? All right? So when you got a ball starting right and slicing, here's what you know. You know a relationship between the face now and the path. The 80-20 rule. Okay? You also have an idea of where, if you were to divide that ball in half, where the contact point between the face and the ball was, don't you? Okay? All right. Cause and effect. If you are a serious golfer, and what does that mean? That doesn't mean you are serious about going on tour. Well, I don't need to get on tour. I hear that all the time. I don't expect you to try to get on tour, right? Whatever your goals are, those are your personal goals, but if your goals are to enjoy the game more, and I know nobody that enjoys playing worse. I know nobody. You can fake yourself into saying that. I just go out and love playing, right? That's great. I have yet to have this way. God, I'd love to go out and play bad today. First tee, man, I hope I play bad today. Anybody think like that? Raise your hand if that was your goal. Oh, I sure hope I play bad today. This is going to be so great. I just can't wait to play bad. Can't wait to get it started. Doesn't work. If you truly want to get better, whatever that means in your mind, your definition, not mine, not my business, okay? You have to develop some form of long-term understanding of cause and effect. If you thought that face and path were 50-50, Or most of what we heard was the path was over the top, cutting across the ball, right? Run out and buy one of these, right? You are dealing with a ratio that is wrong for your game. If you are a slicer or a hooker, just reverse the geometry for hooking. Everybody understand that? Okay. What affects the face? Grip, right? Lots of things. We're not going to go into that. My job here today, or my goal, was to show you some demonstrations between that ball, between this, between the hula hoop, and I need you to understand that so many have been misled to believe that their slice is caused by them coming over the top. All right? By itself, listen close, you listening? An over the top, cutting the craw, whatever, will never, can never, has never caused a slice. So just stop it. There is a relationship. Coming in over the top is going to hit the ball left. You might say, I thought coming over the top will slice it to the right as a right-hand golfer. No, coming over the top hits it left. But you then have to do what with the club face? You got to have something to cancel it out and get something to the right. If you want center, if you got something left, you got to have something right. Okay? And you took the oath, right? You will never blame your slice or hook on what? The path. Not primarily. In other words, you need to learn a little bit about both. That's why I have brochures there. That's why I've been doing this 28 years. I've been a professional. All right? All right. So finally, right on it, Annie. Right on it. Lucas and I are employed at Island Lake Golf and Training Center in Shoreview, Minnesota. We also are affiliated with Acceleration North Golf and Fitness, and that's in Arden Hills, right off Lexington 694 area. Okay, we are a short par, 9-hole par 28, and so we cater a lot to juniors. If you have children, grandchildren, or whatever, we do hundreds and hundreds of kids through our camps and through our leagues and through our other things that we do for juniors, but we cater to all ages. So, all right. On the end here is business cards for myself, Lucas, brochures if you'd like to grab those. Of course, the Totally Driven things are there. If I have a serious one, or so, here's a golf show special. All right, it's for myself. If you sign up for a series of 5 lessons by April 30th, this is 20% off the total of a series of 5. Okay, golf show only. Okay, it says it right on there. I'm smart enough to know what that comes, right? Any final questions, and I'm going to wrap it up here. If there's no questions, here's what I always said, Andy. If you had no questions, you either did really bad or really good. I don't know which, so. All right. If you learned something, clap your hands. Don't clap your beer glass. Clap. All right.